I just don't know what to do. Welcome back to the 20th year. Today is August 8th. Tuesday, August 8th, 2023. It's 4:25 p.m. I've been trying to write this episode right. I've been trying to write this episode for so long. It's not working, so I think I'm going to have to go back to speaking to myself what the series originally was. English is hard. What this series was originally, yes. Which was me talking to myself and recording it through voice memos, voice notes. So we're here again. Today, basically, I'm just reminded of a time, something that happened a year ago. It was like May 2023. And, it was a regular day. I was taking spring classes. It was a Friday. My mom called. So I'm on the phone with my mom. She's like, okay, how are you? All that. And she asked me, what are my plans for the weekend, or what I'm going to do today. I said, I'm going to the movies. Okay, she said, with who? And I said, by myself. And she said, huh? You're going to the movies by yourself? I said, yeah. And she said, you can't go to the movies by yourself. I said, actually I can. And that's kind of what I'm doing. Obviously, I didn't say that to her because, I respect my mom. But she said, that's not right. You can't go to the movies by yourself. You have to invite somebody. Here's my thing. Let me take this back a little bit further. Ever since I got to college, I came to the stark realization that you are never alone. This was especially true during my freshman year. Never, ever, ever alone. Everywhere you go, you're around people, whether you're interacting with them or not. And that can be a lot for me mentally. It takes a lot of energy to be around people, because when you're around people, you don't stop perceiving them, even if you're not interacting with them. And I don't think this is just for me. I feel like this is an everybody thing, but maybe it is just me. But when I'm around people, I'm perceiving them, whether I like to or not. I'm listening in on conversations, and it just happens. I'm observing people, what they're wearing, what they look like, how they're interacting with each other. My favorite thing to do when I'm out in public is to sort of figure out, how do people know each other? Two people in a conversation, are they friends? Are they good friends, or did they just meet? Or they have a mutual friend and they're seeing each other for the first time outside of that friend? Are they dating? Are they about to start dating? That's really one of my favorite pastimes when I'm in public. But I digress. Where was I? Oh, I got lost. Where was I? Okay, we were talking about when you're in public, you can't stop perceiving people. So really, that's what it is. In college, I was surrounded by people everywhere, and I had a roommate, so even in my room, I wasn't alone, and I loved my roommate. She was great. She was really nice. It was a very wonderful situation. It's just the thing that I said earlier. When you're around people, you really don't stop perceiving them. So I really never had a place to be alone. And me, as an introvert, I love being alone. I love being alone because, I don't know, I just feel like I can think better when I'm alone, and because I'm not perceiving people. I spend so much time perceiving people. It takes so much space in my brain when I'm around other people that when I'm alone, I can really just, think. Do you ever just sit in silence and think about everything? You're just thinking, and it's wonderful. It's amazing. And that's why I like to spend time alone. And I really wanted to go to this specific movie alone for this reason. One, it was the second movie in the series of Downton Abbey, and I had just finished all 6 seasons the previous summer, and coincidentally, I had been able to see the first movie over winter break. And nobody else that I know, except for one friend who was out of town at the time, watches Downton Abbey, and that is a very niche crowd, So I was like, there's nobody I know outside of that other friend who's going to enjoy this movie as much as I will. And if I go with somebody who doesn't understand, I'm going to have to explain to them what everything means and the subtext. You have to watch all 6 movies and the first movie in order to understand the second movie, and that's not something I can just teach to you while we're at the theater. So I'm like, you know what, I'm better off going alone. I really am. And it's It's just so funny the way my mom responded. Like, her response really cracked me up. She was just astounded. She was like, you cannot go to the movies alone. And I did. And I had a great time. Like, I said, I was going to prove it to her. Like, I can do this and it's going to be an enjoyable experience. So, I got all dolled up because I was really excited to go see this movie. I did my makeup. I wore a nice, cute little outfit. And I went to the movies. And it was such a great experience. I loved the theater that I went to because they have live music before the shows, like live organ music. And, theaters don't really do that anymore. And it's such a historic theater, too. So the ambiance, the vibe, everything, it was amazing. I really had a good time. But it really brought me back to two principles I have. When you're going out, you can either go out to enjoy the experience or enjoy the company. But for me, it's never both. And I think this is a prime example of that. So, like for this example, or this instance, going to see the movie, I went alone because I wanted to enjoy the experience. Now, if I had gone with somebody, I would have had to prioritize the company, because it's rude to, go to the movies with somebody and, get annoyed that you have to explain things to them. That's not fair to the other person. That's why I went alone, because I wanted to enjoy the experience. But there are situations where you go to an event or something with people so you can enjoy the company. The experience isn't really the priority. And once I figured out those two things for myself, I was more intentional about the things that I chose to do by myself and the things that I chose to do with others. So what's the lesson here? The lesson is, after my freshman year, I made more time for myself, to be alone, not to be around anybody. That is so important for me as an introvert. Because, being around people a lot, like I said earlier, takes a lot of mental space. So sometimes you need to, back away, back off, have your own little place. And that's the lesson. How are we going to wrap this up? I think 8 minutes is fine. Anyway, so I wrote a song. When did I write this song? I wrote the song a year? No, actually, I wrote the song in October, I wrote the song in October, and it really encapsulates everything that I just explained, And here's the thing. I remember why I felt compelled to write the song is because a lot of people only ever see me by myself. I feel like people find it hard to believe that I am a somewhat social person. I do have friends, and I like to go out from time to time and pretend I'm an extrovert. Very few occasions, but it does happen. And I am alone a lot, but I don't have a problem with that because, like I explained earlier, being around people is a lot of mental energy for me. So, I wrote this song sort of to reaffirm myself and that being alone is okay, being with people is okay, just know when you want to do it and when you don't want to do it. And either way is fine. So, here's that song.